How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another After Action Report with RONIN 47R. Pretty excited to bring to you the Skoda T25. This is the Tier 6 Czechoslovakian medium tank. So we are now purchasing from the Tier 5, the Skoda T24, purchasing the Tier 6, which naturally is the Skoda T25. It's up by one. So here she is in all her glory. And she should look pretty similar to the same tank that we saw before, which is, of course, the T25, which is a Tier 5 German premium tank. And as we've touched on that in the past, that's because it is of the similar, if not the same, manufacturer, which, of course, is Skoda. That, of course, being that the Germans took over Czechoslovakia and pressed into service their equipment and whatnot. So what we're going to go ahead and do now, because we are up into the higher tiers, and now I'm bringing along Mr. Valentine here, my good old friend here that came with my T40 premium tank, and he's the guy that I've been grinding. He doesn't have a lot of skills, but he is the guy that I've been grinding up through the chain, starting with, I want to say I brought him into, or up the chain, starting in Tier 4. Then put him into Tier 5, and now he is going to go ahead and live in this tank here at Tier 6. Fast forwarding the background here, the the usual setup that I do, and I'm running with the inscription of Avenge the Fallen, because kind of like that. But putting on some paint and that sort of thing. Now, equipment-wise is the one thing that I would share with you. As I've said before, not the equipment, but the modules, the behavior, the characteristics of a tank helps to me dictate how I'm going to run the tank, which at the same time also dictates what kind of equipment that I'm going to put on a tank. Because as you've heard me say in the past, is I'm either going to make up for some of the lower capabilities, deficits of a tank, or I'm going to enhance some of the better characteristics of a tank. It just depends on how I'm going to play it and that sort of thing. Now with this particular tank, I'm going to go ahead and find out that, and by the way, just for the record, this is a fully equipped, I'm picking out 2 games that out of all the games to share with you, which weren't a ton necessarily, because this grind was very easy, very pleasurable. In fact, I look forward to running this tank in the future just for the fun of it. But this particular video and the one following it, it's a fully upgraded. It does have the autocannon, the autoloader. Hey, some battle tech for you. Anyway, so it does have a 3-round autoloader and that sort of thing. But meanwhile, as I was saying, so when it comes to the characteristics, the equipment that, the modules, if you will, that are in the tank, it helps me choose what type of equipment I'm going to put on the tank. Now, with this particular tank, again, kind of a common theme, so forgive me for being repetitive, but the line is very similar, at least the ones that I've been running up through Tier 6, and that is, you are not going to brawl. I'm not relying on the armor. Just assume that you can pretty much afford to make one mistake, maybe. Basically, the second hit, you're done. So if you can kind of keep that in mind, you're not in the front. Well, if I'm going to be in the back, not sniping per se, but definitely waiting for the time to pounce, and also doing some second tier, meaning second line tank action there for you. Supporting the dudes that are in the front, letting the heavies, take the risk, the heavier armored guys take the risk. So with that being said, you're going to go ahead and run some binoculars on this thing. It is an enclosed tank. I'm going to enhance all the skills. So I'm going to go ahead and run some vents. And then the real hard choice is, okay, do I run, this tank or other tanks, but autoloader, of course, is a different animal. But, do I run V-Stab? Do I run Rammer? Do I run GLD? And those are kind of the 3 questions that I asked. Now, the gun rammer is kind of an out of the question thing for this particular situation, and I believe, if memory serves, if not, forgive me. So, I'm looking at pretty much enhancing, as you can see there, enhancing the aim time, because that was the most challenging. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is throw on a GLD, and as you can see there, I have 1 round there. So you shoot. You pull out of harm's way. It's not unlike the Amex 5100 or something similar to it. You go ahead and you fully reload. You get in a position. Hopefully you're going into position without them noticing you. Once you start firing, they're going to probably notice you. You unload your 3 rounds, and then you pull back for the reload. Now the reload itself, as you can see here, is, gosh, just a little over 7 seconds for those 3 rounds to be readied up. So that is not a bad deal at all. And again, Binox being the equipment for when I'm more in the beginning of those games, trying to get some distance between myself and the other enemy reds out there. And you can see there, by the way, when I got hit, your modules are going to be, if you're getting hit, just assume your guys are going to die, your modules are going to get hit, that sort of thing. But, you know, so that's really what I'm running on is the vents and the GLD, because that seems to be pretty much the nice formula, the nice solution to the challenge that is this tank. Now, so far I have 8 pens, nothing too crazy or braggable. This is not going to be a tank, at least me. I mean, I'm sure, again, I've always said this. There is every single tank out there. There is somebody who plays it that is a superstar, Michael Jordan of tanks, and bless you for it. Me, I'm just an average guy. So that being said, if you're like me, then this advice or this experience that I have may apply to you. But like everyone else says, the cliche is your mileage may vary. There must be a lot of used car salesmen that play World of Tanks. So, you know, in this particular tank, you're not going to be carrying the team. You're not going to be the superstar. That being said, enjoy the consistency of just being a good, supportive tank. If you keep that in mind, you're going to keep yourself in check and not run those crazy risks that I do in other tanks where I feel like I can bounce shots. I can, you know, I feel like I have to be the one to stick it out there because nobody else is. But this is not a tank that will allow you to do that. Even if nobody else is doing anything and you feel like you need to jump out there, this tank is going to be a suicide tank because if they can shoot you, you will be penned. So that is how it is. Now, looking at this game here, again, not too shabby. Coming in first place, big whoop-de-doo, but it was a draw. Boo. So we could have done better. But I definitely put my work in there. So hanging out in the back is not necessarily a bad thing in this particular tank. That is not your job. And maybe I'm preaching to myself. Maybe you guys already know this, but I'm constantly keeping that in mind because I get too excited with this fast speed and you can get yourself in trouble. You want to sit there and get out there and you see things that need to get done. Someone else is not doing it and you just want to start helping out. But you have to know your limitations and be patient. Patience is so huge in this game, in my opinion. It's just so underrated. All right, so here we are, the second and last battle of this short little video clip here for you with this after action report for the Skoda T25, which is the Tier 6 Czechoslovakian tank. For those of you that are joining us late in the game here, you know, watch me play it to its strengths, which is, once again, let's go ahead, quickly get into position. I mean, the speed is beauteous. I love it. I love it a lot. So here I'm running over here. And the gun depression is beautiful too. I want to say it's 10. It's not less than 8. And the reason why I'm so confused is not doing a review, kind of an off the cuff, just, you know, impressions as I'm cruising through this stuff. In real life, by the way, little top secret hint here, I'm recording this Tier 6 video for you, but in real life, I am really ground up through the Tier 8. So I've kind of seen so many different modules and things. I don't really know all the stats off the top of my head. Plus, I have my daughter here in the room, and she's doing these weird things that's distracting me. But, you know, I'm going to focus here. So much for production value. But this is real life, and I'm just a poor old dad. All right, now, we're coming into a position here where, if you notice, I'm trying to stay as hull down as possible. Not so much that I'm going to be bouncing rounds off of my turret, but I'm just trying to stay, you know, keep my head down because I do not want to be noticed. Trying to be as stealthy as possible. Taking a riskier shot over here. Reason being that I'm running over here is I'm supporting my guys because if they're going to choose to run up forward, I feel like I need to be in position to assist them as well. And I felt that it would be more advantageous for the team, for the small group of players on the green team here, if I was in this position where you see me going now versus trying to play the sniping role in the back. Now, if they're going to go ahead, which is appropriate, that heavy tank's going to go ahead and take that road, and you got this medium guy doing whatever he's doing, why don't I go ahead and cover our right flank here by peeking up and over the top of this hill, because I don't want my guys jumped on from the top. So far, no sniping opportunities, and whoa, lo and behold, boom. There you go. Got to wait for it to aim in. Not an on-the-move shooting tank, so I really had to stop and let it aim in for just a moment if you're going to do those snapshots. Okay, medium tank is taken down. I do not have to pursue that. Off in the distance. Beauteous. Here we are. Tier 5 tank. Waiting for me to send some love. It did not connect. Notice you have to wait for the aiming in time. There we go. Had to get just in the right spot there because it was kind of being eaten by the tracks there. And he was able to pull back. So my bad for wasting 2 shots. I should be better than that. Now this is a tasty side shot. Going to go ahead and blind fire on that T1 Heavy. And got 2 into him. And again, just make sure that you are aiming in completely before you pull the trigger. And you are going to do pretty darn well. And there is a 85 back there. T-34 85, Tier 6 medium. Russian tank. And this guy here, he's trying to position, but he has no clue that I can see him. And so he's just not moving out of the way enough, which is fine with me. Look at this. And wait for it to aim in all the way. Boom. Wait for it to aim in all the way. Boom. I mean, those are pretty quick follow-up hits. So very, very pleasant, very fun. You feel devious. You feel, I feel like a bad boy playing this tank because it's just, oh man, it's, you know, playing it the right way, not front line, and it's just super fun. I just feel like I'm taking candy from a baby because if you know where to shoot tanks and you're at the appropriate tiers and that sort of thing, it's not bad. In fact, this tank, challenging to play tier 8s, absolutely. Just flank them, keep your distance, and it is irritating for the enemy. Good times. So I'm going to go ahead and send this guy some love. And again, you're looking at around 100-ish, rounds. I mean, if you connect all 3, that's 300 plus points in a very short amount of time. Less than, just a little bit over 7 seconds to go ahead and reload, and yet you're ready again. Not bad at all. So this guy has repositioned. That was the dude I'm pretty sure that we were nailing earlier. Taking a risk here, sticking it out. And there we go. Maybe I can get one more. And that was kind of dumb. See how I got hit? And then it's like, oh crap, there are all these guys to my left that, nope, wasn't paying attention. I will be honest, I did not. I preach well. Pay attention to the minimap, but no, dummy. Ronin was so focused in, being a jerk on that guy, that look at all the hits I've taken. So honestly, I'm lucky I'm not dead. Lucky, lucky, lucky. But now I'm in a great position, and now it's a little under control. Taking a breath, and now let's go ahead and from left to right, we're going to pie the corner. I don't know what else to call it in tank language, but basically we're going to go, in this case, from left to right. We're going to slowly rotate through the enemies, and that way you only expose a bit of yourself at a time. Anyways, enough of that. So I was going to go into this whole side dissertation about pieing the corner, but that's not really necessary for right now. So now we're down to just 3 dudes off in the distance, and already we're up to 20 pens. It's a beautiful thing. And look at that. And yay! Yay, team! I'm so glad you capped and limited my damage output. Thank you so very much. And yes, that was official sarcasm, sponsored by 47R.com. So here we are, Skoda T25 coming in first place, a beautiful thing. I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead. This is basically a screenshot, a video shot here of me purchasing the T-34 100, which is a sneak preview into the next vid in this line of Czechoslovakian tanks, which is super fun. And we're going to talk about the T-34 100, of course, at that time. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and taking a look at these tanks and, taking advantage of seeing what experiences I've had with these tanks. Hopefully you're getting something out of it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next round, which of course is the T-34 100. Again, we are grinding the channel. If you really enjoyed this stuff, give this thing a like, throw in a buck for luck. There you go right there. Really appreciate it. And again, look out for Tier 7, the T-34 100, the next video out for the Czechoslovakian tank line. Bunch of fun mediums, and that's pretty much it. All right, guys, you take it easy, and I'll catch you later. Girls, you said you had something you wanted to ask them?
Do you guys like our channel? Then please donate and keep our channel running.
Well, that was a nice thought, girls, but you know what comes next?
If you are receiving this transmission, you are one of the 47 Ronin. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.